Market Monday with John and Katie from the Griswold Group. I'm Katie, this is my brother John, and we're going to recap the state of the market, which went out last Thursday.
Thanks, Katie. Yeah, so as you may have read, the interest rates have really increased over the last 8 weeks. We're up 100 basis points from around 3% 8 weeks ago to now over 4% for the average interest rate. We were hoping that that was going to soften demand just a touch because the imbalance is pretty significant between buyers and sellers right now. Buyers are having to go, considerably over the asking price. Often they're competing with sometimes several dozen buyers on a property. Not always, but some. And we've definitely been hard at work to help find success for our clients.
Yeah, so it is tough right now. We're not going to sugarcoat it, but we are having a lot of success with our buyers. Here's what's working. So some of our buyers are having to get a little creative with what's going to make sense for them. So we're looking in more than one zip code. We have buyers that are looking at condos instead of single family homes. And we also have buyers that are pushing their budget just a teensy bit. It's requiring a little bit of creativity and it's requiring hard work, but if you stick with it and you're willing to make a few compromises, you'll be successful.
And help is on the way on the interest rate side. As the interest rates go up, and from what the Fed's talking about and everything else that we're reading, we're going to see interest rates getting close to 5%. And although that may impact some purchasing power, it will lower demand where you're not having to compete with as many buyers on the properties that you want. Especially those B and C properties, you're going to start to see where there's just an offer, or maybe there isn't an offer yet on the property, and you can go back to a more traditional offer counter scenario on those properties. The good stuff, guys, it's still going to be competitive, but buying an A+ property has its benefits. So, part of what Katie and I do is help position you really strong so that you can win more deals, have more success, and overall just enjoy the process more than a lot of the buyers in this marketplace. Do you have anything else you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, well, I think one big factor that is really making this even worse right now is that the rental market isn't any better. In fact, it could even be worse. I have a good friend right now who's trying to get into a rental, and a good place comes on the market and there's already multiple applications on it within hours. These people haven't even seen the property, but they're paying application fees. And so it's just, there aren't really any good options right now, especially in San Diego.
Yeah, and the unfortunate thing is that a lot of the homes that are coming on the market, I'm noticing that a lot of them were tenant occupied or are tenant occupied. And so it seems like a lot of the people choosing to sell are just dumping more tenants into the rental market, which is just exacerbating the problem altogether. And so the competition is probably going to get worse because the biggest reason to not sell is where the heck do you go? So the only people who don't have to deal with that are investors or people who have a tenant in their asset, and so that's going to continue.
Yeah, I think you touched on a good point there, that there's a lot of fear among would-be sellers to sell because where are they going to go? They're so afraid of being a buyer. We have a lot of buyers in this category. We call them TradeUp Buyers. So they're buyers that they're in a condo or they're in a small home. Maybe they have a child on the way. Maybe both both people are working from home and they need another office. They are too afraid to sell and get that home that more suits their needs because they're so scared of being a buyer, and that is making our inventory problem even worse.
I agree. There are solutions. It'd be a whole nother video, but at some point we should dive into all the different tips and tricks to help secure a home without having to move twice. There's lots of different ways you can structure loans, bridge loans, doing private lending over a short period of time. There's a whole kind of suite of things that we can talk about how to unblock some of that potential for would-be sellers who are ready to make their next move.
Yeah, and one thing that we are doing right now for our clients is fact-finding missions. So we have clients who are thinking about selling, and so they're meeting with their financial advisor and they're figuring out, okay, what is the home I'd like going to cost? We're setting up a search, we're starting to peruse the market and figure out, okay, how much money is it going to take for you to get into your next home? What are you going to get for your current home? And are you in a position to take on this risk?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had good feedback from that, and it's great because it's setting the table for the future of for what they want to do in the completely like no pressure situation. It's just giving them the information so that they can make an informed decision, and then they take that information and collaborate with their financial advisor, with their CPA, with any of the other service providers in their world so that they really have clarity on what they're going to do next year and over the next 5 years.
Absolutely.
I think that's good for today.
Yeah.
Hopefully you all enjoyed that extra bit of content, and we plan to keep pushing out these videos, and hopefully it helps our clients and the people that we know. Thanks so much.
Bye, everybody.